Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel again with the RS6 C6 what we bought. And yeah, the previous video ended up a bit sad, I would say. I wasn't expecting that we will find there, and I was thinking a lot in the evening what to actually do with it, if it's worth it to even spend the time to take the engine out. I did have a sort of good night's sleep, and we had loads of people commenting us they want to support us somehow. So I did activate the thanks button. So if you want to support us with this project, after all the thoughts, I come to an end that we will go ahead with it. If it's gonna need an engine, I have to buy an engine for it. If this engine will be rebuildable, we will rebuild the engine, but 100% we are sending it to 1000 bhp, so we need to buy loads of things. And of course, with you guys as well, it will be very helpful to speed up things, and especially with the parts, it will be completely mental. Time-wise, it won't be even better because the turbos, we have to send them out, that will be away 4 to 6 weeks. And everything what's in there, like engine block, crankshaft, they need to go to the machine shop. So heads will be fully done, and we will be buying all the forged things. So it will be definitely interesting project, but decision has been made, and I'm going to work finally. So we're going to drop the bumper and everything's got to come off, and we are taking the engine out. So I know why the windscreen is cracked, because somebody tried to remove this plastic, and how they touch the windscreen just cracks straight away. So ideal thing is you have to make it move left to right, and then just pop it out slowly from the sides. Okay guys, so if you think V10 is something difficult to do, it's not, because it's an old dinosaur and I have an A6, but this have one extra issue. So it's like 2 cylinders stuck together. Underneath the 2 ECs there was a plastic cover where you have all the relays, the connection going into the vehicle, some fuses and stuff. I did found something was plugged on there as an extra thing, not sure what this is and not sure what that is. And on the other side again, more wiring, some positive cables and stuff. And I think we are done here, so I can't really continue with the wiring too much. The only piss-taking situation is that the wiring goes underneath the wing. So I think the next logical step will be remove the front end, headlights, bumper, radiator panel, and just try to make ourselves room in there, try to remove it. Maybe I will be disconnected the wiring which is there underneath. So no, that's not. Okay guys, so the front bumper is off, which wasn't that bad because it was half stripped, and we revealed the beast of a cooling system. So we have intercoolers for the turbo, which are quite thick. Then we have another cooler in the front, which I believe this is for the power steering. Behind it is another cooler, which I believe this is oil cooler. Then we have air conditioning, this one here. Then we have another cooler. I don't know for what is this one here, but it's for a coolant. Then we have the main cooler behind it for the engine, and also behind the intercoolers there are another radiators here and there. Not even talking about the electric pumps. So this is all fault of the global warming. If it wasn't so hot, it doesn't need so many radiators. Okay guys, so the progress, I disconnect these oil hoses, which is going to here, some kind of oil distributor. And we have those returns from turbos going in there. And those two hoses are going into the oil cooler to the front slam panel. And this one is going in there. So all that will be removed. So far, connector from the cooling fans in the front disconnected. Power steering, air conditioning, and coolant hoses from the top. The plan is we want to move all that as a one piece. Okay guys, so I'm fighting with this hose for quite some time, and I don't have to remove it. So this pipe is going around there, in here, and back into the radiator from there. I thought it's going elsewhere. Oh well, no experience. Okay guys, so the front radiator pack is off. It's quite heavy, to be honest. There were quite few things what needs removing, but it wasn't that bad. And I must say that the engine is pretty clean what we used to remove, especially this is 2008, so it's quite old. I was expecting there will be oil leaks here and there. What is a bit questionable, who was doing what and when and why, because there's white silicone, what we don't see very often. White silicone belongs to bathrooms, not in the engine, but it's not leaking, so no hard feelings. But I do see a silicone on the rocker cover gaskets, which is not really good. However, we will continue. I don't think we have too many things from the top. There's just one ground cable, what I miss, and we have to disconnect the main oil supply, which is coming from the tank on the side to the engine. Continue with the suspension arms, disconnect the dry shaft, prop shaft. Hopefully in a few hours it will be on the table. Okay guys, so sad condition. Well, engine is not in sad condition. Engine is still very happy condition in the car, but the rest of the car is in sad condition. It doesn't look like an RS6 anymore, but I don't know guys. We have to remove these sides for the turbos, one and the other, and tell me who have an RS6 V10 and instead of new gaskets they put bathroom silicone. Brilliant. Also, whoever was doing whatever, this O-ring with the pipe for the oil feed has a silicone. There's a white bathroom silicone. There's a white bathroom silicone. So I try to be positive, but I can't be positive when I see this kind of a dodginess on a very high performance special vehicle like the RS6 V10. But we'll try to keep positive still. Anyways, we disconnect everything, like air conditioning, all the piping from this side, yeah, the air conditioning here, 2 pipes, also the power steering from there, if you can see it, which wasn't that bad. The only thing what's holding us at the moment is that pipe for the heating matrix down there. So my plan is you have to drop the engine down a bit, and then there will be access to actually remove the clamp and drop it down. We're gonna lift the car up now. We will check after myself if I disconnect everything, and we will proceed with the engine removal. So from underneath, I am a bit scared and a bit worried because I was loosening the main bolts from the subframe and they were not tight at all. So I'm just thinking out loud that is this engine from the car. Actually, somebody maybe swap it for a bad engine and keep the good engine on whatever. We live in the UK, you never know. Funny things is going on every single day. But I don't think that the car was on the road in the condition how it was tied, because that should be like 150 Newton meters unleashed, I think. And I just literally unscrew it, barely touch it, and it just went. So funny things going on. Don't know what to think about it, but exhaust is coming off in one piece because it's a Miltech exhaust. Once you put the paste and you clamp it, it will not go, or it will be very hard. So we're obviously going to put it on some kind of timber or something here. We're going to drop it all down with the turbos and then unscrew it. So prop shaft is off, arms off. The prop shaft, or sorry, the dry shaft will go from the hub left and right. Funny thing is that the main power supply for the alternator is not going from the side. I thought it will be on this loom, but this is staying on the car. It's probably going all together with the main loom somehow, but it's not disconnected unleashed from there, so no need. There was one ground cable over there, and we still have to do the secondary plastic air pump. That should be it, and I think we can put the trolley underneath and take the engine out. So the V10 is out. It's absolutely monstrous drivetrain with the exhaust in the back. It looks completely sick, but we have silicone master level showing everywhere. Also, just a quick walk around the engine. It's not that bad when it comes to oil leaks and stuff. There is a bit of a oil pot over there. Not sure where that oil comes from. Looks like it's coming from somewhere here, but that will be all done. Maybe vacuum pump is leaking, maybe. That looks wet. But my concern is, I'm not sure if you can see it, there's white silicone on the timing chain covers, the bathroom silicone again here as well. So I'm not sure what we're gonna find underneath there. And yeah, it's actually 2 5-cylinders stuck together. So this is the turbo setup, quite similar to the RS3's 5 cylinders. And obviously the whole piping to the turbo is quite fun. That's the power steering pump, and it should be controlled by this solenoid, which is, I believe, pressure control, because the pipe goes in there, which is opening the regulator on the turbo, and it's controlled probably by the boost, but it's a three-way solenoid because the other pipe is going before the turbine. So very interesting. But it's all right, it's all right. We will continue with stripping down the exhaust. Mine will be the first thing. Then take the loom, gearbox. We need the subframe to put it back on the car so the car can go out meanwhile. And quite lots of things to do. The main thing is the engine, obviously, but also meanwhile, I'm checking everything around here. Not sure you can see the power steering pipe is a bit leaky from hydraulic, so makes me wonder if the power steering was actually working, because it was quite hard to steer the car. I know it's heavy, it doesn't run and this and that, but it was really heavy to steer the car. It has new power steering fluid inside, nice and green, but still questionable. But yeah, let's continue with the engine, then everything else.
I hope you find what you've been looking for. Trust me, I don't wanna feel no more.
Okay guys, so here we are. 10. So we have 10-cylinder engine still, and I am a bit lost. Never done it this deep, and it's a bit different than the R8 because it's turbo and have a dry sump, which the R8 have as well. But I found these bull horns going into the inlet manifold, what we removed, and the vacuum evap is going in there, and also the piping from the back, which is mounted to the cylinder head. I don't know what it is yet. I will find out. My next plan is to take the high pressure fuel pumps off, ideally with the piping, so I don't have to be stripping it too much, because it's quite a lot of things from the back. And because I've never done it, I don't want to be lost. But yeah, as you can tell, it's not the easiest setup. I did want to actually remove the EGR, but that's going underneath that pipe, that's going underneath this pipe, so I have to strip it from the high pressure fuel pumps on the beginning, and then we have to continue somehow. So we will separate the gearbox and subframe and everything, so there's still things to do. The engine don't look too bad from inside, like internal wise. It almost stopped at the timing, almost. And what do you think about the head gasket? Because that looks to me very fresh, but too clean, very clean. I'm getting more and more suspicious, like what we will find. I can sell with more silicone in there. So yeah, let's continue. We've got things to do, and I'll keep you updated.
There's no need to scream and shout. As far as I can see, my heart thinking it's time for you to leave in peace. As far as I can see, my heart thinking it's time for you to leave in peace.
So this is day after, couple of hours after, because we finished quite late. It was like 2:30 in the morning. Currently it's Sunday, about 11ish, and we have to move on. Reason why? Because it's Sunday. Tomorrow is a normal working day. We have all the lovely customers coming tomorrow with all the cars which are booked and all the cars which are in the yard. So we need the ramp. So all this rubbish from what I stripped down yesterday gotta be put in the car, suffering gotta be put on, and so on and so on. But meanwhile, we do have few issues what I didn't expect we will have, because I thought it's just flat damage or thought it's just something easy. But whoever was doing any work on the car before us just make our life a bit more difficult with whatever they've done, unfortunately. And of course, it will be very funny to get all the parts. It will be definitely a challenge. But also, if you want to support us in this project, guys, you can do so. You can click on the thanks button and help us to proceed with the project. It will definitely help us to work on it much more, dispatch everything, and just get it done ASAP, because time-wise it will be absolutely mental if we have to waiting for the machine shops and so on and so on. So it will be hard. But let me show you what we find out after we get to this point, and why we are stuck at this point, and what will be the next steps. Okay, so yesterday we stopped for a very good reason. It was 2 in the morning. Also, we did stop because I can't continue. The reason why I can't continue is there's a torque converter, if you probably noticed, And if you're doing C6 or any other older cars, you probably know the torque converter is actually mounted not like bolts from inside of the gearbox, but you gotta remove them from the starter motor. So it is a very tricky situation because, as you know, the engine is not turning, which means, to be completely honest, I did forget about it, that these bolts are mounted from literally inside. But I was thinking a lot, and I think we need to strip the engine down, like from the top, whatever we can, make it as light as possible. So turbos, carriers, cylinder heads, oil filter, everything in the middle, to make it light as possible. And then, hopefully then, we will be able to get to the bottom of the engine, but still, the bottom of the engine is screwed to the timing chain cover from the back, which I can't remove. And I think there will be some dowel pins or something which will be holding it together. So if I won't be able to turn the engine, I won't be able to take off the torque converter, which means I won't be able to take the rear timing chain cover off, which will send us into a very tricky situation because I won't be able to strip the engine down. But the whole point is we gotta make the engine move. So I'm thinking if the heads will be taken off, somehow we can, take all the water out, what's left there, make it clean up, and just try to make the engine turn. But that will be in case if the crankshaft is not seized or the conrod bearing is not seized, because if that's the case, we can put as much WD-40 into the pistons and whatever and it will still not move. So that's why it's a tricky situation, because I never been in the situation when we were not able to get actually to the bottom and to release the seized bearing or whatever to turn the engine. So it's quite bad, to be honest. It is bad. I don't know how to continue. Well, I don't know how to continue till the point when I'll get stuck. But this is the issue why I can't continue. And the other issue is I'm not sure whoever had the car before us. It's just the silicone was probably for good money, I don't know, but they put silicone absolutely everywhere. So on the turbo, on the oil feed, literally whatever was removed, pump, all those covers over there, silicone was absolutely everywhere. Look, absolutely mental. This is actually the bottom of the engine, the piping, and there should be a valve in there. Also, more silicone in there. The other thing, are the injectors. I'm not sure what happened there, but this one is too clean, so I'm not sure if it was overfueling or what happened. We definitely have to test all 10 of them. Worst comes to worst, you know what they say, you just need another 15, 16, 1700 pounds for a set of injectors. What can you do? Life is difficult, and not even talking about the small things like radiators and a few broken connectors and all these silly things. Then you're gonna start mentioning the power steering, the gearbox, and more things. So from a project, let's work out the 1000 bhp car with forged engine. It will come like a restoration project after somebody, because like I said, whoever was working on the car before us was like, it wasn't good, guys. Yeah, if we do a job like this and somebody will be stripping it down after us and they found something like what we found, I'll be like, I don't know, I'll probably cancel the YouTube channel straight away, move from UK to somewhere, to desert probably. So yeah, it will be challenging to repair it because we have to do something after someone to make everything work, and the next step is just literally get to the bottom of it. So it will be interesting. It will be definitely interesting, and I don't know if we will be actually able to strip the engine on the end of the day. So maybe we will have to look for another engine, but that will be in another video because I want to film the engine tear down from the bare engine where you see now a bit more detail. Especially try to get to the bottom of it, like what goes where, because the system how it's built, coolant wise and oil distribution wise, it's quite interesting. And it's completely different engine compared to the V10 what we bought for the SA, which is going to America. So even when it comes to any part sourcing, it just can't be any other engine than the BUH code, which is only and only for the RS6 C6. So the market is limited. I'm really hoping we'll be able to move on with it quite quickly. And of course, thank you for all your support, guys. We will see you in the next video with probably this engine, stripping it down, and we'll keep you updated. So thank you for watching, guys, and take care for now. See ya.